Through you, Mr. Chair, we are good to go.
Thank you, Mr. Hewlett. Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Deputy Mayor Tom Hutchinson and Chair of the Adjustment Meeting. Item number 1, we are going to call the meeting to order at 1:03. This is the May the 2nd, 2022 Committee of Adjustment meeting. We do have quorum as indicated by the committee members' login. For this meeting, we're using both audio and video. This meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the Westgrey website at www.westgrey.com. The technology for this meeting is being managed by the Westgrey staff. Please refrain from clicking buttons throughout the meeting unless prompted. Before we continue, I'm asking Corporate and Community Initiative Officer Cody Hewlett to provide an overview of some of the other key points for the meeting. Mr. Hewlett, go ahead, please.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Chair. If at any point you get disconnected, you can dial 1-647-558-0588 and enter the meeting ID for this meeting, which is 871-5038-0700. Both members of council and staff have been briefed on the various features of the Zoom meeting software and will be raising their hands physically on camera to speak. For members of the public, if you require any technical assistance throughout the duration of the meeting, you can send a chat message to myself, Cody Hewlett, Corporate and Community Initiatives Officer, and I will attempt to assist you. It should be noted for the public that this meeting is being held in 2 locations, both on the Zoom meeting platform as well as being live streamed on YouTube. Any public participation, if any, must be done through the Zoom meeting platform and cannot be done through YouTube at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hewlett. Item number 2 is the purpose of today's meeting. Clerk Sherback, please provide your comments.
Through you, Chair, the purpose of this Committee of Adjustment meeting is to allow for the presentation of an application for consent to sever and to allow interested members of the public the opportunity to ask questions or offer comments with regard to the application. A public registry for the application is available by email to sferguson@westgrey.com. And if any member of the public would like to be notified in writing of the decision on this application, they are to provide their name and mailing address on that registry. This will also entitle one to be advised of a local planning appeal tribunal hearing in the event that the decision on the application is appealed. Thank you.
Thank you, Clerk Sherback. Item number 3 on today's agenda is disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Members of the committee, is there anything to declare at this time? And if one should arise at any time during the meeting, you can bring that forward at that time. Seeing none, we're going to move on to item number 4. That's the approval of the minutes. 4.1, it's the minutes from the April the 4th, 2022 Committee of Adjustment meeting. And if I can go to Clerk Sherback for the recommendation, please.
Through Chair Hutchinson, the recommendation is that Committee of Adjustment approves the minutes of April 4th, 2022 as circulated.
Thank you, Clerk Sherback. Could I get a mover for the minutes, please? I do see Member Townsend as the mover, and I did see Member Hutchinson as the seconder. Comments or questions on any of on the minutes before us? Seeing none from the members, call to question. All those in favor, if you could raise your hand, please. I do see all members are in favor. There is none opposed. This motion is carried. Thank you. Okay, item number 5 is to consent to sever application number B04 2022 521020, concession 12 NDR, Township of Bentley. 5.1, application number B04 2022 Boerkamp Dairy Farms Limited. 5.2 is Planner Spencer's report and report on consent agenda application. I apologize. B04 2022. Planner Spencer, if I could get you to read your recommendation for this, please. And you could include your comments received under 5.3 written comments, which would include 5.3 Enbridge Gas, 5.3.2, that'd be 5.3.1, sorry, 5.3.2 Hydro One, and any other correspondence that may have come in before today's meeting. Planner Spencer.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Chair. The recommendation is that the committee receive Planner Spencer's report and approve application B04-2022 Boer Camp, subject to the following conditions: the payment of any outstanding municipal taxes, the payment of an entrance permit application fee, receipt of an entrance permit to the newly created parcel, and payment of the zoning bylaw amendment application fee, approval of a zoning bylaw amendment application, and finally, payment of the $500 parkland dedication fee for the newly created parcel. This property is comprised of approximately 37.2 hectares, and the lands that were previously used for a sawmill and single detached dwelling unit. However, those buildings have since been removed, and the property is currently vacant, and approximately 26 hectares of which is used for cash cropping purposes. Planning staff have provided a report reviewing the provincial policy statement, the county official plan, and the municipality's zoning bylaw. Staff recommend approval of the application to the committee. At this point in time, comments have been received from the County of Grey through pre-consultation regarding the severance application at hand, the Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority, in addition to Hydro One, in addition to Enbridge Gas. There were no major concerns with the application. Planning staff have received no further comments and provided in written or verbal form at this time. I'm happy to clarify further. Thank you.
Thank you, Planner Spencer. So that'll take us to 5.4, verbal comments. And there's two parts to this. 5.4.1 would be the members portion. And once we've concluded that, then we will go to the public under 5.4.2. So the first part is 5.4.1. And committee members, is this your opportunity to ask any questions or make any comments that you may have regarding this application? And I'll be looking for any comments or questions if you just raise your hand, please. Okay, seeing none from the members, then we're going to go to 5.4.2, and this is members of the public. And there's two parts to this application. First one is to speak in favor to the application, and then that would be followed by anybody who's opposed or would like to speak against the application. So if there's anyone in the public that would like to speak to this, I'm going to ask Mr. Hewlett to please provide how members of the public can participate, and if you could also advise Mr. Hewlett if you received any request or if you have anybody in the queue. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Through you, members of the public wishing to participate may do so in a multitude of ways. The first being, if you have joined us via phone line, you can press *9 to raise your hand, and that will let us know you would like to speak. Alternatively, if your hand has been raised in error, you can press *9 again to lower your hand. The second option for members of the public who have joined us using the Zoom meeting platform, you can either send a chat message to myself, Cody Hewlett, Corporate and Community Initiatives Officer, either stating that you would like to speak or what you would like read into the record on your behalf, or you can raise your hand either on camera or by using the digital hand, typically located in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Through you, Mr. Chair, I am seeing that Mr. Davidson would like to speak.
Welcome this afternoon there, Mr. Davidson, and the floor is yours. Go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, this is just a continuation of what we talked about this morning. Of course, this morning was the rezoning application. I really don't have much more to add. I see Nancy Boerkamp is on the line. I don't think she cares to say anything, but if there were questions that I can't answer, I'm sure she will be able to. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davidson. And I'll go back to Mr. Hewlett. I don't see any other hands or any chat buttons or any prompts on my side. Could you verify that, please?
That is correct. I am not seeing any other members of the public wishing to speak at this point.
Okay, thank you. Then we will move on to 5.5, and that's the decision by the committee. What direction would the committee like to take with this application? I do see Member Robinson. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good afternoon to everyone. I will move that the Committee of Adjustment does hereby approve consent to sever application number B04.2022 Boerkamp Dairy Farms Limited for the reasons and with the following conditions set out in the planner's report: payment of any outstanding municipal taxes, payment of an entrance permit application, receipt of an entrance permit to the newly created parcel, payment of the zoning bylaw amendment application fee, approval of the zoning bylaw amendment, and payment of the $500 parkland dedication fee for the newly created lot. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Member Robinson. Could I get a seconder, please? And I do acknowledge Member Hergert's hand up. Give me one moment, please. Okay, I usually go to Clerk Scharbeck, but I think Member Robinson has laid out pretty good. So does anybody need the recommendation read again? I think it was pretty detailed, and it is all the correspondence in front of us. All right, so we don't need that read. Then I will be calling the question for all those in favor. If you can just raise your hand, please. I see 5 members in favor, none opposed. That motion is carried. And then I will go to Clerk Scharbeck for the next steps, please.
To you, Chair, the next steps for this file, since the zoning amendment public meeting has already taken place, will be for council to consider that amending zoning bylaw at the next regular council meeting. If it's passed, there will be a 20-day appeal period, after which time the applicants will be advised that that condition of their severance has been satisfied. Thank you.
Thank you, Clerk Scharbeck. Okay, moving right along, we are now at item number 6 on our agenda. That's next meeting. Clerk Scharbeck, could you confirm? I do have the next meeting scheduled Monday, May the 16th, 2022 at 1 p.m. If you could confirm that, please.
Through you, Chair, yes, that's what I have as well. If there's any change, we'll certainly let you know.
Thank you, Clerk Scharbeck. Okay, so item number 7 is adjournment. I'll be looking for a motion to adjourn, please. I do see Member Hutchinson as moving that. Could I get a seconder, please? Member Hergert is seconding that. Clerk Scharbeck, could you please read the recommendation?
Through Chair, the recommendation is that Committee of Adjustment hereby adjourns this meeting at 1:15 p.m.
Thank you, Clerk Scharbeck. Okay, call the motion. All those in favor to adjourn, if you could just raise your hand, please. I do see all 5 members in favor. There is none opposed. That motion is carried. Well, I guess I could say, well, thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful afternoon, and hopefully we get some sunshine in the very near future. So